I was very interested in a Les Paul that would have a Floyd Rose tremolo on it, but I had never owned a Gibson Les Paul because of the cost, and I certainly couldn't afford the Access, which first came out, because it was a high-end Les Paul with a tremolo for the first time, something there was no way I could afford. So I was very surprised and delighted a few years later when they came out with the Epiphone version. But that version was short-lived. It was not on the market for long, and it was very expensive. So after years of searching, I found one new. I owned it for several years. There are several videos on my channel about that guitar. But at some point, I made a decision to sell it. Even though it was beloved, I had just gotten divorced. I was moving from a 2,500 square foot house with a unfinished basement that I had 1,200 square feet of studio space into an apartment that was about a third of that size. So once I was in the apartment, I did not keep that guitar for long. But since then, I've regretted that decision and have been on the hunt, and here we go. I found this on Reverb. Having owned one in the past, I was able to ask some very important questions. Every Les Paul has a scale length of 24.75, meaning the neck is X amount long. But for some reason, and this might be one reason they discontinued this model, it has a longer neck scale, much more similar to like an Ibanez, probably because of the less. It has a scale length much closer to an Ibanez, probably because of the tremolo. Those tremolos had never been put on a Les Paul or a Telecaster prior to that, which had the 24.74 scale neck, which is a smaller, shorter neck scale than you'll find on an Ibanez or a typical shredder, which is typically longer. This is shorter. So the odd thing about this model is it will not fit in a standard Les Paul case, and it had its own custom case. So the first thing I asked the buyer was, hey, do you have the original case for this? Because it's not going to fit in anything else. Can you guess what the answer was? No, he did not have the original case. So we wound up building this box custom and throwing it in a gig bag. So I'm very excited. Let's look and find out what we have and how it was packed. All right, I'm just telling both cameras now there's going to be times I take this out of frame to do a proper job opening it. I guess the other reason I became interested in these again is that the Alex Lifeson Pro FX Les Paul is out in the Epiphone series, but that's like $1,000 guitar. Not only does it have the trem on there, but it has other features that have been in the Epiphone series before, namely a acoustic style pickup. In the past, Epiphones have had the Ultra series, which have a pickup on them, which is designed to be similar to a Shadow Mag or a Nano Mag that are on the Alex Lifeson model. And they also have the much more form-fitting contour body style and the scarfed neck joint, which this does not. So once again, this person made a custom box. And I'm struggling a little bit to get the custom box open. I'm going to have to get a serious knife. There we go. A serious butter knife, because I don't want to hurt this thing. I'll do lots of cuts on this because I keep having to sit down and rest because I have bad lungs and a bad heart. And this is a lot of effort. But I don't want to make my situation worse than it is. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Drama unfolding in front of our very thighs. If I can just rupture this part, rupture is a bad word given to my health. If I can just free the bottom, I can pull it out. Okay, hey, pretty good job on this box this dude made. Huh? Here's the trim arm. Oh yeah, baby. Standard Les Paul trim here. He told me that was in the bag, but it's in the box. Good thing I didn't throw that thing away, whatever it is. Okay. So we're getting closer to the moments of truth. I'm very excited. Alright, I'm going to try to sit down somehow, because this is killing me. Possibly, literally. Okay, this gig bag looks like it might have been for an acoustic guitar, because it is way big for an electric. But again, that's probably because of the scale length. Alright, I am unzipping, but trying not to look. This camera keeps falling over. Ooh. Oh. It's one beat up gig bag, y'all. Very iced tea looking. Not as nice, obviously, as the finish on the Gibson Inspired By. That's more of an authentic. But not bad. It's got one bash. It's taken a fall. Still technically good condition by reverb terms. It fits that description. Roll over to a new video here. So it's got one ding. I'm not too disappointed about that. Otherwise, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. It'll be interesting to compare this to the 60s Inspired By and get a comparison on the old style veneer tops to that higher quality style. All right, well let's see what she sounds like and if she's even in tune. Take a break here and catch my breath. Okay. Sounds like it's in tune. Gonna fire up the orange stomp rig here. All right, start with my favorite. All my neighbors must hate it by now. Immediately I can feel the neck length is longer than a standard Les Paul. Feels pretty good, I gotta say. All right, let's hit the backing track button. Bring the volume back down. So it's routed here at the bottom, so you don't have to make the trem float. Put a little more gain here. So it's nice, it gives you another bend out.